Okay, hello. This is a little bit of a strange video to upload to my channel, which only has Umineko animatics that I've made. But as an artist who really enjoys having YouTube videos on in the background while I work, I figured I could try. If nothing else, then this video just kind of exists as it is. But if anyone want to have it on in the background or even watch, it's just slightly sped up footage of me working on some frames for the new animatic that I'm working on. It's sped up like, I think it's 170% speed, so it's less than twice speed. I just didn't want it to be too slow, but slow enough so that I had enough footage for it to be at least 20 minutes. Because, I don't know, when you want something in the background, at least I personally feel like it has to be at least 20 minutes, or you hunted for nothing. So I figured that while I have my footage of drawing these frames, these Umineko non-spoilery, low spoilery frames, I could just talk a little bit about Umineko. Just again, if you want to listen in or watch, up to you, of course, if anyone's even watching this. So I figured I would probably just talk about the different episodes and like talk about them in order from least favorite to favorite. Big caveat though, I have not replayed Umineko except episode 1, so I'm very familiar with the first episode, and the further into it we go, I think the less concrete stuff will be. So I'm sorry if your favorite episode is my least favorite episode. It's not like I don't like them. I like all the episodes. But my least favorite one is probably episode 6. I enjoy episode 6 a lot. It was the episode that confirmed my theory on who was the culprit. I quite enjoyed Battler and what it means for all the characters. I think Erika is completely unhinged, and I like it a lot. I also quite enjoy the climax of episode 6, even though it's really wacky and has some symbolism that's a little bit controversial. Episode 6 is just a little bit slow for me. The pacing is a little bit off, and maybe it'll be better if I reread it, or maybe it won't because I already kind of know everything now. But I enjoy episode 6. Being my quote-unquote least favorite episode, it's still a really solid episode. None of the episodes are bad, but I think there are 2 in particular that for me are a little bit hard to get through, and that's episode 6 and it's episode 4. Episode 4 is like basically the same as episode 6. It has some really high highs, but in my opinion it has some really low lows as well. I remember even when reading it, the pacing, it felt very slow, even though my favorite scene probably in all of Umineko is Kraus fighting the goat and the loser flags showing up. It's so funny. I absolutely love it. And everything with Maria and Anje, it's so good, but it's so slow. I wish it was a little bit condensed, but I do, again, all of these episodes in Umineko I enjoy. It's just that they all have some strengths and some weaknesses, and I think there are people out there who would say every single episode is their favorite. Like, there are people for every single episode, I believe. I don't think it's an uncommon take to say that 4 is kind of low, even though it's a really good episode. Maybe I would enjoy it knowing more now, because I had actually very few ideas about the culprit going out of the questions arc. It was during episode 5 that I really got my theory, and then episode 6 confirmed it, so that was nice. And then 7, of course, is actual confirmation. After episode 6 and 4, I think there's quite a big jump for me because I quite enjoy all of those episodes. But I think if I had to pick, the next would probably be episode 2. Episode 4 and episode 6 are kind of on the same level to me. I enjoy them, but they're a little bit flawed. Then we have episodes 2 and episode 5. I enjoy both episode 2 and episode 5. Which one I would rank higher? depends on my mood, I think. They're very different episodes. Episode 2 introduces the red truths. It's really the first time you have concrete stuff to work with. You kind of know what's going on. It's really fun, and it's by the original author. Whereas episode 5 introduces Erika, and it's absolutely insane. Even though I like the insanity, I feel like the pacing of that chapter is a little bit weird. And episode 2 is kind of a little bit too straightforward, but I think it's perfect for what it needs to be, an introduction to the red truth. We are going from new perspectives with Rosa being in the center. I don't think, like, 6 and 4, there's any big stretches that I couldn't get through or anything. They're just really solid episodes. I have a feeling that episode 2 might be underrated by the community, and I say that putting it in the lower half as well. It's just that they're all really good, and I really enjoy episode 2. The ending of episode 2 is fantastic. Like, excuse me? Then we have fourth favorite. We're now in the top half, and that would be for me episode 8. I really enjoy the start and the end of Umineko. Again, nothing against episode 4, 5, and 6, but I think episode 8 is really good. I understand that the ending is a little bit controversial. It depends, I think, a little bit on how literal you take the messages of Umineko, whether you want to apply everything very directly or not. I personally really like it. I think that sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to let things go. The best thing sometimes in situations with a lot of trauma and a lot of stuff that's happened in your past is just to manage to process it and then let go of it. And I really appreciate what the story is doing with Anje and with Battler. I understand that some people don't like it and might take it very literally, the way Anje is with her abusers and how forgiveness is such a virtue, but to me, it's forgiveness for yourself, not forgiveness for them. I think that a really important topic in Umineko is that you can't live with a lot of resentment and a lot of hate in your heart. It'll get you to feel even like it'll spiral. It'll be even worse. You'll blame people. You will look for stuff to be angry about. You won't let go of the trauma. Forgiving people doesn't have to mean everything's okay and that they didn't hurt you, but it means putting it in the past. Again, it's not in my top 3, but I really enjoy episode 8. I was kind of worried when I got there because I knew it was slightly controversial. So reading through it, I remember being pleasantly surprised by several things in that episode. Then my third favorite is episode 7. I think episode 7 is really interesting. 7 and 8 are both very different episodes. We have Leon, we are actually confirming stuff if you've paid attention. A lot of the answers are confirmed. I think it's a really good episode. 7 and 8 have very different strengths and weaknesses, but they're so unique. I quite enjoy both of them almost equally, but I do think episode 7 is my favorite of the two. So my second favorite episode is episode 3. So yeah, my favorite episode is episode 1. Those two can be interchanged depending on the day. I think some days episode 3 is my favorite and some days episode 1 is my favorite. I think episode 3 is so good because of the red web at the end, all the red truths. It really gets you to think about the culprit, what is going on. It's the first episode not written by the first author. It's really, I don't know, I remember getting to all the red truths with Eva Beatrice, and I was so confused, just like Battler. I was like, how does this make sense? It was such an interesting take on it. And everything with Beatrice, how she behaves around him with the wind and the sun. It's really interesting. I quite like it. But yeah, so I think episode 3 is fantastic. I have a feeling that it's overall quite beloved by the community. I'm just guessing though. And all of this means that my favorite episode is episode 1. This is biased because it's the only episode that I've reread, and I really like it, even though the start of it is tragic. It's so slow. Why are we spending like an hour at the airport introducing everyone? It's such a slow start. And part of me is like, well, we need to spend time with them, or everything that happens later will feel so rushed. We don't know these characters at all. But I feel like it drags on. But when it first starts being good with the discussions of the money with the siblings, I think it really picks up. I love all the mysteries more or less in episode 1. I think what's done, like the prelude to all the mystery and murder with who gave Maria the letter, is fantastic. I love it. It's such a good starting point. And then the murders start happening. I don't know, episode 1 is so nostalgic. It's really good. It doesn't have the red truths, but when you know the truth, the red truths are just kind of extra fun. Like, haha, I see what you did there, Beatrice. Whereas in episode 1, if you know what's going on, like, you kind of don't need that element for it to be good. But I would argue all of the episodes are really good. I have a feeling that if I reread all of them, the order would probably change quite a lot. Maybe the middle section should have more love because 4, 5, and 6 are in my bottom. But I just think the rest of it is so good. When it comes to favorite characters, I don't think I surprise anyone. My favorite character is Beatrice. Beatrice is my favorite character because, you know, it's about her. It's Beatrice. She has so much going for her, and her voice actress is fantastic. I absolutely love her performance. But even without that, I just think everything around Beatrice is so interesting. She's so fun. She's so complex. Everything to do with her identity is super interesting. To no one's surprise times 2, my second favorite character is Battler. I think he goes from being such a just guy, such just a himbo guy, to such an interesting character. And I also think that we do see the shift from, oh, Battler, he's all about, you know, pretty women and making jokes, and he doesn't understand everything. He's clueless, he's confused, to a more understanding and contemplative Battler. And what breaks my heart is the fact that we see the shift happen kind of in episode 3. And that makes sense, right? Because we have a new author now. We have new authors of episode 3 compared to episode 1 and 2. I think the characterization of Battler in the first episode, where we see that he is, again, he's all about how beautiful people are. Like, Shannon, wow, look at you all grown up. You're beautiful. Look at your chest. This is amazing. Haha. And it takes him like hours and hours of thinking to even think about the epitaph. And this is from the point of view of not Battler, right? Someone who has known him and is kind of fan fictioning what he would be like 6 years later. Whereas episode 3 has a way more strong connection to Battler. He would know more, and we see how he's contemplative, how he's happy that Shannon and George are together, but he's like, goodbye, my first crush, my first love. You were so important to me. Whereas the person who wrote the first few bottles, the first few episodes, didn't have this insight because Battler isn't involved in writing those scenarios. And it hurts my heart because they didn't know. They didn't know that he still cared, that it mattered a lot. Maybe stuff could have been different. I don't know. It really hurts. No. Other than that, I think all of the characters are fantastic. I, of course, really enjoy Maria. I think she is really good representation. She's also really, really heartbreaking, where you see that she's such a happy child, just trying to enjoy the things that she enjoys. And then at some point, everything with Sakutaro happens, and she just kind of turns so pessimistic and kind of indulges in the more evil side of fantasizing about stuff happening, and her and Beatrice kind of, we don't need anyone else, we can be together, you and I, we will validate each other, we will create a world, only two people are needed to create a world. I have so much compassion for this little girl. I so understand that she has so many levels of like masking and pretending and fantasizing, and she's easily tricked, and she's young, and she loves her mom, and it's complicated. It's so sad. So definitely they're up there. Honestly, I think I could talk about every single character for a long time. I know I said my favorite character was Beatrice, and then I barely talked about her, but if I start, where will I go? Everything about her is so complex. How she just wants to be understood, how she wants to be acknowledged, and how she takes on the blame for everything that has happened. It's just, I found her so interesting. Other than that, any characters that I want to mention, I feel like I should start by mentioning the other parents. I don't think we get a lot of all the parents, but we can start with Kraus. He's really funny. He has the boxing scene in episode 4 that I really enjoy. And you see this, he's so stupid. Like in the first couple of episodes, well, you know, episode 2 he's not so relevant, but in episode 1 he seems very conniving and smart, and then you see him in the other episodes and he's like a man baby. He seems like a guy who is just kind of trapped in masculinity. He can't take help from Natsuhi. He has to pretend to know what he's doing, and he's seeking validation from Kinzo by trying to be an entrepreneur, get a lot of money, invest, like how he suddenly got all the gold and the riches. He wants to emulate that, but he's not super talented at those things. It's clear that he embezzled, like he stole and used Kinzo's money, and then everything happened and he's in trouble. And he doesn't even tell Natsuhi about half the stuff until it's become this huge problem. So I found him really interesting. He's a super interesting character. Natsuhi, I think we could talk about Natsuhi forever. She's one of the main characters in both episode 1 and in episode 5. And she's so interesting. I don't know. I think that's why the focus is on her a lot of the time. How she feels trapped, having been forced to marry Kraus and struggling to understand him. He doesn't rely on her, and then they struggle to conceive, and Eva has a child, and she feels like she's so tied to motherhood and what it means to be a woman. Bess has a really good video about Umineko and womanhood and femininity. It's fantastic. Everyone should watch it, but they probably already have. I could talk endlessly about her, but she had the first scene that ever got me emotional in Umineko. It's when Jessica gives her the scorpion charm, and she's like, I'll give you something in the morning, and it's the mirror. When they were having that conversation, I teared up a little bit the first time I read it, seeing how Jessica is so different from Natsuhi, but they're trying to reach out to each other. It's very, I don't know, it's very emotional to me. I don't have too much to say about Hideyoshi. He loves Eva, clearly. He just wants a big family and a wife who loves him, and she clearly does. They're very happy together. Eva is so complex. She, of course, has episode 3, and also a lot of the answers arcs are also kind of about her. How she is twisted by resentment and being trapped in the patriarchy, and also what happens after the incident, and how she wanted to be there for Anje, but by hiding the truth of what happened on the island, there's this resentment between them because they can't connect properly. Anje doesn't give her the love and support that she needs, and she's just a child. So Eva takes it very personally, and she grows sour and old, but she never really reveals what it could be. And there is not one canon ending, but some people think that the one with Kiria and Rudolph is probably close to the truth, and I have a feeling it probably is. I feel like a reason Eva would have to conceal everything would be to protect Anje, and I feel like it would be related to her family directly, like her parents and Battler somehow. So, no, she's fantastic. Episode 3 is great, and it's all about her. It's great. Rudolph, I don't have too much to say about it. The baby thing, what the fuck, man? What's wrong with you? Are you such a coward, such a weakling? And Kiria, I could talk about forever. She is so messed up. She has no identity of her own. She's like trapped, kind of having to perform all her roles at once. She's performing, not like getting along with Battler. She's performing just being this calm and collected woman when she's so full of jealousy and rage and envy. She pretends to be the villain, I think, at certain points as well, to make sure that if I win, I can just do whatever I want. If I lose, people will at least worry about Anje if I'm gone. She has this mask she's always wearing of being calm, collected. I'm not super feminine, unlike Asumu. I don't pretend to be weak and feeble and fall over and be sick all the time. And it's like, I don't think she did, Kiria. I think she looked at Asumu doing things and getting compassion from Rudolph, being seasick and fragile and falling over, being kind of a klutz and kind of cute. I think she saw that as her tactic to get to Rudolph, instead of, here's a woman who's not as capable as me, or who's not forcing herself to seem as strong. She's just herself, and that means admitting that she gets seasick, and which Kiria thinks is very calculated, but I don't know if that's the truth. Then of course we have Rosa. You could also talk about Rosa forever. She is episode 2 and 4, a lot about her. I can't go into detail with her either because there's so much to say. Again, the best video really talks about these four and Beatrice. It's a really good video, but I think the main thing about her is also that we don't really get an insight into who she fully is either. She's clearly a horrible mother. She treats Maria so bad. It's awful. Like, Maria should be saved from her. But also, I do believe that Rosa loves Maria. I just think that she views her as punishment, which is an awful thing to have looming over you. That has nothing to do with Maria, but she views Maria as this very physical and, like, she's around for years, right? This heavy weight reminding her of the man that left her, and that she's now a single mother, and that she was always the youngest and no one took her seriously, and now look at her. So I don't know, it's fantastic writing, and I hate her so much, and she's so interesting, so I love reading about her. But know that my heart always goes out to Maria. So with that, I literally can't talk about all the characters because we would be here forever. Let me just give a shout out to Jessica, who is very Mion coded, and Mion's my favorite character in Higurashi, so I love her. But there's not a character that I don't at least enjoy. Like, shout out to Gotha. He's so funny. He's so funny in the answer arcs. Oh my god. Okay, with that, thank you for watching and or listening. This is very random, I know, but hopefully I'll be able to publish my animatic sometime this spring. It takes a lot of work, but hopefully I can get it done.